guys, welcome to another coffee chat video. I've got my coffee today. You guys know I love my Starbucks mugs. These are my favorite. I have it's kind of dirty because there's actual coffee in there, but the Boston is the city. These are my favorite mugs. You can get them at all the major cities. So if you guys can't find them near you, they have them on eBay. That's where I may or may not have gotten a couple because I haven't been to Boston yet. Anyways, a lot of you guys were saying you wanted these videos to be longer, which I would absolutely love. And I promise not to waste anyone's time, but I do want to actually have a good conversation with you. I was always just afraid that you guys would be bored. So today's video is all about finding love after your heart's broken. Now, before I do this whole video, I want you guys to know that if you're not in a relationship, that does not mean whatsoever that your life is incomplete or whatever. It is completely normal and amazing if you're single too. Actually, before I've gotten in this recent relationship, I swore that I was going to be single. Me and Lainey, she's by my feet right now, we were gonna have the single ladies life. I was playing some Beyonce music. I was feeling good about my life, and the relationship happened unexpectedly. But all of that is to say that this video is about finding love, but not saying that you have to find love in order to have a fulfilled life. So anyways, enough on that. I'm gonna take a little sip of coffee. So if you are new to my channel, or if you don't know my history, I'll give like a little history of the heartbreak that I've been in. So I'm not even 40 yet. I'm 39. Lord help us all. I'm 39 and I've been divorced twice. And looking back, this was not, when I was in my 20s, I never thought I would ever get a divorce, one, but to have it twice is definitely not what I envisioned for my life. And I've had my heart broken many times, even outside of my marriages. I've been in different relationships over the last 20 years or so. And it's hard once you get your heart broken, especially afterwards. It's like you become very pessimistic about love. You don't believe in it. You don't believe there's good people out there anymore. And it's just a very difficult time. And then it's like, I think someone said having a divorce or going through a major breakup is almost like a death, because it's like you're losing a part of your life that became so much of your identity for that amount of time. So anyways, my first marriage was when I was 22, and we met in college. He was my college sweetheart, and that was my first full-blown relationship. That was my first love, and I was married for 7 years, and then I got divorced when I was 29. And it was not expected at all. And long story short with that, it wasn't a difficult divorce at all, in that we're still on good terms. And we just had married so young that we didn't, we kind of, I guess, grew apart. Like, we lived in different states. Like, I was born and raised in California. He was born and raised in Michigan. And we just wanted different things in life. Like, I wanted a faster paced life. And I missed my family in California. And he loved a more calm lifestyle in Michigan. So that's kind of what caused that divorce. It wasn't like a brutal thing, but it still was really hard because I was with that person for 10 years total. We started dating when I was 18, and that was my first full relationship. And so I had a really, really hard time after that and really struggled. And what I did was I traveled a lot after that. I spent some time on myself. That's when I started my weight loss journey. I don't know if you guys know, I lost at one point 125 pounds. I've gained a little bit back, not all of it, but some. And so I focused on myself for a little bit. And that's kind of what healed my heart a little bit after my first divorce. Was this, I traveled, I started exercising a lot, eating healthy, I hung out with friends. Everything was very focused on myself. I got a little bit selfish for a while, and I was like, you know what, this time is for me. I'm not going to care about what, trying to provide for everyone else. I need to just focus on myself and help myself heal. And that was really healthy for me after that first relationship. But then what happened after that, even though I was taking time for myself, I was so used to being in a relationship that I quickly, after that time, I started dating again. And looking back, I wish that I didn't. And it wasn't, I don't know, I think I just was in my comfort zone being in a relationship, that being alone, even though I was focusing on myself, being alone and not in a relationship was really hard. And so then I started dating different people, and I had good and bad experiences with that as well. And I kind of went through on and off relationship until I was in my mid 30s actually. And so I got married a second time. After that, I got married in 2015. So how old was I? 35. Yes, I was 35 when I got married for the second time. With that one, that relationship was almost, I think, a rebound relationship for me, because I was just looking for something. I was looking to get back in a relationship because it was my comfort zone in that relationship. And I'm not trying to bash this person at all, because I don't mean any ill will for this person, but it was a toxic relationship. And I'll get more into details on that later without sharing explicit things, because that's a part of my life I want to keep private. But anyways, it was a really, really toxic relationship for me because I got into it too quickly. I saw so many red flags of different things that I ignored, because my whole goal looking back at it at the time was just to get back into it. So anyways, with that relationship, I had gotten divorced I had filed only a year later, not even a full year, and gotten out of that one. And after that heartbreak, I'm telling you guys, I was broken, like seriously broken. I had so much emotional damage from all of that even now I feel like, and years later, I'm still going to be dealing with little bits of that. But what happened after that relationship, I know this may sound a little crazy, but I promise you guys it has worked so much. So after that, when I learned my lesson and I swore that I was going to be single, and this time I wasn't intently trying to get in a relationship at all. I was, again, focusing on myself. And I saw an amazing counselor in Sacramento. I hope she's watching. Hi, Deborah. You changed my life in so many ways. You've been like the hugest blessing in my life, was to get through a lot of stuff from that. So I saw an amazing counselor that was just incredible, helped me get over some trauma from that. But also, I saw a holistic doctor, and her name's Dr. T. Hi, Dr. T. She was in LA, and she does a lot of holistic healing, but she also does Reiki. Hope I'm saying that right. And she was telling me, Marlena, because I was saying, a lot of my physical ailments I was going through was honestly because of heartbreak. Like when you guys go through a breakup, whether you were married or not, it actually takes a physical toll on you. There's so much stress. I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' stories too below. Is like, I physically was sick from all of the stress and emotional trauma and all of that I just got in a really, really bad place after that. And I was telling this to my doctor, and I was like, because I was having so many panic attacks, I was having stomach issues and all of that stuff just from multiple things going on in my life at that time. And my heart was severely broken. And I was like, I swore off men. I was like, I'm never going to date again. I'm going to be single. I had this pessimistic outlook. Like any guy that would try to ask me out, I'm like, oh, I don't want anything. I was just so against relationships because I was so burnt. I'm like, I've been through two divorces. I'm only 35 at this time. Like, what is going on with my life? And my holistic doctor was saying, I want you to practice this mindset. It was a meditation. And she's like, I want you to tell yourself, lay there and don't think about anything. Meditate on this. I open myself up to welcome and receive love. And I was like, what kind of BS is this? At first I was like, this isn't going to work, like whatever. But then I was very hopeful because I trust her. She's an amazing doctor. And she's like, I want you to think of that. And so I did, and I did this meditation for several nights in a row, not because I was looking for a relationship. I wasn't. I wanted to be single, but I didn't want to become bitter about love. I didn't want it to be like this, like pessimistic outlook. I didn't want anything negative. I just wanted everything in my life to be positive. And so every night before bed after that session, I would lay down and I would say, I'm not going to let love get bitter. I'm not going to let this affect me. I'm not going to have this be a negative part of my life. I still am planning on being single, but I don't want to be broken. And so every night before bed, I'd lay there and I'd say, I open myself to receive and get love. And that was just something I meditated every night. And then I just set it aside. Outside of that, I wasn't actively trying to date. So now fast forward to the present. With all of that being said, I ended up dating someone that was a friend of mine for a few years. And I never expected to date this person at all. He was such a good person and had always been a good influence on my life, but there was no I never looked at him like, oh, I'm gonna date this person. It wasn't like, I was actually trying to set him up with friends of mine, my assistant, and I was like, this guy is such a great guy. Some girl would be lucky to have him. So I was trying to set him up with all these different people I know, and I tell him, I'm like, oh, are you still single? And he'd just get kind of embarrassed about it, yeah, but I'm, he wasn't trying to date either. And so I swear by it, you guys, because I was not expecting it. I hadn't let myself after the second divorce to become bitter about it. And I think because of that meditation and praying and saying, I'm going to open myself up to love, not expecting it or anything, Unexpectedly, honestly, we just started becoming closer. After I went through all that stuff, he was really there for me. So basically what happened is, I'll tell a little bit of the story without saying his name because I want to keep this relationship sacred, but still like give hope to those out there who have given up on love. Like, I swear, I promise you, it will happen when you least expect it. Just be very positive about it. So anyways, Halloween night, after I had already gotten through my divorce, I was separated, moved out, was going through all this stuff. I usually spend that time alone because that's right around when my dad had passed away. And I was telling him, I was in the car with him, he was taking me somewhere, and I was like, what are you going to do for Halloween? What do you usually do? It was just this casual thing. And he's like, oh, I usually just work. And I was like, oh, okay, I think I don't want to be at home. I don't want to do trick-or-treating. Like, Halloween's a very hard time for me. And so I just wanted to be alone and go to the movies. I was like, I think I'm just going to go to a movie by myself. And he was like, you're going to go to a movie by yourself? He's like, you can't do that. And I was like, no, it's okay. And I was like, well, if you aren't working tonight, do you want to go? And it was this whole casual thing. And I was like, honestly, I was still looking at him like a friend. And so we went, and something about the movie, I was kind of like, this guy's pretty cute, but I was still not wanting to get in a relationship. And the whole time during the movie, I was looking over, and he was like so like totally, I don't want to say professional, but very like didn't try anything. And I started looking at him differently after that. And I was like, what is going on? Because I was swearing to myself I was going to stay single. So then nothing happened. He was a total gentleman. And then a few days later, I had gotten really sick. I had gotten bronchitis. And he had checked on me, asked how I was doing. And I was like, I'm really sick. And so he just showed up at my doorstep with like a bag of soup, some NyQuil, and some medicine. And it was so sweet. And that's when I started having feelings for this person. It was not expected at all. Long story short, after that, he continuously every night kept bringing me different medicine and soup and checking on me. And I was like, this guy is such a good man. How is he not taken? And then without either one of us even thinking of it, we just started dating and started becoming attached that way. It just grew really, really close. So my whole point of that for this video, giving my little history of everything, is that after your heart is broken, I think what helped me so much was not letting myself become bitter, focusing on myself for a little bit, whether it be like doing whatever it is that you love, that you didn't have time to do when you're in a relationship. Like being single, that's such a positive thing, is that you have the time to be a little bit selfish and to do what you want to do, whether it be traveling or hanging out with friends or taking on a hobby or doing some charity work or whatever it is. I think the more that you focus on yourself, it's actually very attractive to other people as well. When they see that you're so independent, you have so many things that you're trying to be involved in, it is like flies to sugar. I'm telling you, people are like, they're intrigued by that. Look at this like strong, independent woman, and she's doing charity work, and she's like has her shiznit together, and she's spending time and focusing on herself. It's almost like it's an attractive thing, putting out this vibe that you don't want to be with anyone, but not letting yourself be better. So that's kind of some things that help me with my heartbreak. And honestly, if you feel like you've been broken so badly, do not be ashamed to go see a counselor. I don't know if there's any sort of vibe still out there. I hope that stereotype gets broken, that going to a counselor is a bad thing, or a therapist or psychiatrist. None of that is wrong. That's healthy stuff to do, to focus on yourself. Like for me, I've had like bouts of depression and anxiety, and I've had panic attacks, and it took such a toll on me that I physically was ill for so long. And me going to see a counselor and talking about relationship issues, and her like seriously just asking me questions that made me think of, okay, what is it I want in life? What is it that I need in a partner? What is it that I need in a relationship? Helped me so much. So I swear by that completely, is to go to counseling. I know it costs some money if your insurance doesn't pay for it, but even just go one time a month, just save up that money, do what you can to go. And I swear, if it's a good counselor, it helped me so much, you guys. Like if I didn't go to counseling, I think I would have stayed in that marriage, the second one, that was so toxic for me. And it took me seeing someone that helped me. Honestly, I needed help getting out and getting to a healthy place in my life. So I know that was kind of a long-winded story, but just focus on yourself. There's just so much hope out there. I don't want you guys to give up at all, because if I'm like damn near 40 and I've been through 2 divorces, and I've had my heart broken, and I have health issues, and I have a lot of things going on in my life that are difficult. But if I can still find love. I know, like, I believe in it so, so much. And I hope all of you guys out there feel that too. So don't let the heartbreak get to you. And I'll do another video later specifically on divorce if you guys want, of how I dealt with all of that. Because it's hard. Like I said, it feels like a death in the family when you go through that. So that is kind of my coffee chat for today. I want to ask you guys, like, what, if you've been through heartbreak, what specific things helped you all? I'd love to hear your stories. The last video I did, you guys posted all your stories and I loved it. I love the community on here of you guys supporting each other, telling your stories, helping other people. Like, this is what I want for the coffee chat so bad. I want a community of people that uplift each other and help each other out, because we all go through some shiznit in life and it's hard going through it alone. And I hope that this is a place where it can be safe for you guys to feel like you can bond with other people that are going through the same stuff. So that's what all of these coffee chats are about. So I hope that helps you guys even just a little bit. And I send so much love your way. I send love and coffee and puppy cuddles from Lady and Lexi. So anyways, you guys have a great week. Let me know what topics you'd like to see for coffee chats, and I'll see you for another one in a week or two. So take care, guys. Bye.